NiftyBC, why don't you
Yep.
tell me a little bit about how you got into crypto and when, and as well as Wax, and then kind of how you thought of and got started with your M.O.R.B.S project?
Long, long ago, in a long winter, a cold, cold winter, I got into crypto. It's
A cold,
back
cold
in
winter,
2000
huh?
Cold winter. About 2015, I started kind of, well, actually probably a little bit earlier. I started like looking into it, but Bitcoin was still in its Silk Road years, so it was a little sketchy still, and I wasn't totally sure how I wanted to kind of approach it. But then it started to spike a little bit, and then when it hit about $1,000, I really started paying attention to it, and then it went to like, I think it went to like 5,000 or something, and I was like, oh, what's going on here? And so I started buying into Bitcoin right around then, and we rode it through that 2017 like pump to about 20 grand, and it was great. You know, it was like, oh my god, I'd never seen anything move like that before, and the whole decentralized idea of things, it was kind of different. It was a new idea, and so went through that, and then also went through the horrific crash right after that
Yeah,
when it
yeah.
hit 3,000 afterwards. So lessons learned,
Mm-hmm. I'm just
and I
in a similar boat. Yeah, I seem to have
yeah.
entered in the wrong place, but that's how it's just all learning. So, yeah.
Yeah, so we just held on to everything really. I kind of just forgot about crypto for a couple years. I hadn't really thought about it much, and then I'm a 3D guy and graphics guy. Been doing it professionally for years, like 20 plus years. So I knew about Beeple before Beeple was Beeple NFT Beeple, and
Mm.
so I saw an article come up that he sold something for $1 million at Christie's, and I was like, wait
Yeah.
a second, what? Wait a second, Beeple sold that?
Oh,
Really?
cool.
And so like, so my ears perked up, and I started to kind of like do some investigation. What is this NFT thing? And I was pretty interested in it because being a professional artist, you kind of you never really totally get paid correctly. You're always overworking, and you're always just kind of at the mercy of other people usually. And so the NFT idea was like, oh, you might be able to do this independently, and might be an independent way to make art. And so I I had just gotten an iPad, and one night I was just doodling, and I came up with this character Crypto, and then I came up with the other 6 characters. So there's Crypto, Gas Fefe, Toby, Satoshi, Zap, and DeFi, and those are the 6 characters. And I drew them out, and I made like a little collection,
Nice.
probably like about March of 21. Was it 21? Yeah, I think March of 21. And nothing happened at all for weeks. Zero sales. Like I was like, I guess this doesn't work out. I had some stuff on ETH that didn't sell.
Okay.
So I was like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Like I was like, I couldn't kind of figure it out. And I would see all these people selling their stuff, and it was like, these horrible
Yeah, yeah,
things.
yeah.
And I was like, how is that selling for like what's selling? I don't understand this space. And then I started to dive in more, and I kind of understood what the CryptoPunks was, and I kind of was like, oh, I kind of started to understand this a little bit. And then on Wax, one day I logged in, and someone had bought like everything I had on the market pretty much, like almost overnight. And so, and then that person sold them, and they flipped, and then it kept on going really quickly within a couple weeks. And I was like, wow, what's going on here? This is kind of cool. And that's Wanye. I don't know if he's still on Wax, but Wanye, shout out to you, man. He was one of my first collectors, and he gave me a lot of cool collector advice because Wax had been around for a couple of years already, and I didn't understand the space here because ETH runs totally different
Mm-hmm.
than Wax. First of all, if you guys are new to Wax, it's totally different how it's kind of over here. It's a little bit more asset based, on games,
Yeah.
and I didn't understand the way it looked, because like you're coming from ETH, which is all these big pictures, to like shovels and
Yeah, game
picks and
pieces.
stuff.
That's right.
You're like I don't understand what this is. And but then I started to kind of fall into it, and I shout out to Crypto Stash. He was an early person that I learned a lot of stuff from, and he was one of my first collabs.
Oh,
And
nice.
I started doing these action cards. So I did 8 action cards, and he was the second action card, and then I got in with Senior Lupe, and Senior Lupe was my third one. And then Digital Asset and all the other guys, they had a really cool Telegram group. It's still around, Blockchain Blunts. It's not as active as it used to be, but it was a good time in Wax then, and a lot of us collabed, and a lot of those people turned into bigger projects that you see now. So it was a cool journey, and so I just did that, and I was doing augmented reality. So if you get anything, first of all, the the name of the project is Morbs. If I didn't bring that up, it's morbs.app if you want to find out anything about it. But it's augmented. That was my whole purpose. I'd been doing a little bit of augmented reality and some VR stuff before I got into NFTs, and I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool to have that utility. I'd seen that VeVe app, VV, I don't know how you call it, whatever, but they had these Batman NFTs that would have that same utility that you can in AR see or NFT. I was like, oh, that's cool. So I did the same thing basically for ours. So everything that I have on there has some kind of AR piece. If you see a QR code, just scan it with your phone and you should be able to see it on Android or iOS. And so I did that for a while, and then I was planning on doing an animated series, which I kind of postponed. I'm still planning on doing that, but it's animation takes a lot out of you.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
you know, and there's a couple amazing animators on Wax. Like Robert Bone is one. He's an Adult Swim animator, and he has a couple of his own. And when you're saying shrimp, it's called Swams. Go check out Swams. It's on HBO Max and Adult Swim. And he made that, and it's a shrimp that gets he needs to wet his whistle all the time, and if he gets too dry, he shrivels up like a little shrimp. And he's very particular about it. So when you were talking about shrimp,
yeah, that's funny. I didn't know that. That's funny.
So anyway, so animation seemed a little bit out of scope because even to make like little 10-second animation NFTs that I was doing was taking a week. And at that time, the space was moving so fast, you had to release every week or you kind of were gone, you know? And so I just kind of stick with like PFP stuff, more illustrative stuff, and sticking with the AR. I did some 3D pieces. And then I decided I wanted to make a metaverse a little bit. And so I built the MORBSVERSE. And it wasn't the MORBSVERSE first. Actually, it was Waxapalooza. So it was a big festival. I wanted something for the community that was free to come join. It was free to go see. And it was set in like an amusement park kind of setting. And we had, I think, about 50 artists on that first one. And it worked on mobile, desktop, and PC, VR headset, so you could go in either way and be part of it. And it worked cool, but the engine that it was running on wasn't set up properly, and so there was a lot of crashes. And I was like, let me rethink how I'm going to do this. And then so I got it on my own servers, and then I learned some tricks and kind of put it together, and I came up with MORBSVERSE, and that's what it is now. I started off with one little room, and now we have 13 rooms, I think, total.
Nice.
And we did a big extravaganza for Easter that had, I think, over 60 artists total through all the rooms. And we have sponsor houses in there that people have. There's a boxing rink, like auction area. There's a Satoshi Garden. Yeah, there's tons of stuff. I'll be able to walk you through some of the stuff.
Yeah, in the next section, we will look at all of it. It is interesting. So you definitely have a lot of stuff. And this is all you doing all of this?
All me, myself, and I, man.
That's what we love from Wax. A lot of Wax creators do everything on their own, and it's very impressive. So and sometimes very ambitious as well, and makes it all that much more impressive when you execute those ambitious goals. So that's awesome. Yeah. Before we dive into that part, because we will look at it, let's talk about the podcast a little. Yeah. So how did Crackers just reach out to you like he does everybody else, and that's how you met, or did you meet in a different way?
Yeah, I think so. I think we started off with an interview. I think that's how we first started kind of communicating, and then we were in the same telegrams and that kind of stuff. So there was kind of like this little clique of people that we were kind of communicating over and over, and I really liked his community engagement. I'm really about community. That's kind of why I liked Wax in the first place. It was just a little bit more community oriented, and
me too.
I'm a musician, so I come from a very underground scene, and to make things work for all the bands, you have to work together. You have to kind of make your own promo, your own scene for people to come be part of, and so a lot of those people all had that same kind of vibe, and that's kind of how we started the podcast. Is that he had been doing interviews, and I had been wanting to kind of get some more exposure on Wax because I've been doing tutorial videos. I have a ton of tutorial videos on how to use Wax, and a lot of people had been watching them. And I was like, it might be kind of cool to actually show the art projects of Wax, because at that time, if you went to Atomic Hub, which was the only market at the time, Well, there was NFT Hive too, but I didn't know that at the time. Usually, most people get introduced to Wax through Atomic, and when you went there, it was all games. So I didn't even know there was artists even on the platform. And then after being in the community for a while, you start to go, oh, well, there's a ton of artists in here, and there's actually some really good artists that are doing some really good work, and people are just sleeping on it. And so I wanted to highlight that a little bit more, and Crackers was all about it, and so was TC. TC was actually the first person that was the co-host, because I had done a Waxapalooza event, and I streamed it. That was our very first show, and then we just decided to come back the next week, do it again. And
nice. How'd you meet TC? Did you know him in a different way?
Same thing. We met in the Blockchain Blunts Telegram, man. Like Digital Asset and Blockchain Blunts was a pretty popular series back then. They do the Dutchies and all that stuff, and they work with Ken Bozak and a couple other people. So we all kind of got to know each other through there.
Awesome. And you started this podcast. I guess you just chose YouTube and Spotify instead of Twitch, but that works. I kind of heard a lot of the mainstream is moving towards YouTube, so it's got its own live platform going on. And like you said earlier, you've already had a whole bunch of AMA interviews on there, so that's great. So anybody that's watching and likes to learn about things, obviously there's the Twitch channels that do interviews, like myself and BD and some others, but there's your one there as well, and they usually kind of catch projects early, like me or some others I've noticed, because Crackers does that. He actually looks. Even if you just started, if you're on Wax, he's reaching out and he's seeing if you're into it. So that's something you can do. You can subscribe on their YouTube channel. And there it is right there. There's the link.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah.
And Crackers, like I said earlier, he was going to be here, but he's in Ireland and it's extremely late and he had to go to bed. And we said we'd cover him. So massive shouts to Crackers. You'll see him on
Shout out to Crackers.
Twitter and stuff in the Wax space. And it's all love. I love how you're doing that. You're putting emphasis on Wax creators and interviewing them. You're giving them a little spotlight even when they're tiny and they're just starting. Because a lot of times people just don't know about these new ones. And some of these new creators also don't really know how to step their foot into not just the space, but the communities. They don't quite know how to get in and market into them. And these types of things are really, really good for that. Both like your podcast or like the Twitches and the other ones that interview. This is how we started getting our collabs, like flat out. I was one of them. I didn't know how to really step in and start making these collab things working out, or who to contact and that kind of stuff. But then I just got on to an AMA interview with Online In, and then next thing you know, he's introducing me, and then I go on to some others, and then that's how we dive in. Then I became a streamer. The creators don't always have to do that, but using these interviews is a great way to market. So if any creators are out there, whether you already have something or if you're planning on it, you're thinking about it, I highly recommend to reach out to any of the Wax streamers and interviewers to kind of go. And Crackers and NiftyBC is probably should be your first one to hit up as a newbie, because Crackers will just get in there and do his blog, and you should get it started. You get people watching, get people learning about you. So there you go. If you have any questions, we're about to close this round. We're gonna do another Grubfish for some M.O.R.B.S prizes, M.O.R.B.S NFT prizes. And then we get back, we will look at, we'll have you screen share and actually look at some of the characters maybe, the website, sure. and then look into the actual MORBSVERSE in these rooms. Sure. So you said you do everything yourself. So you did all the coding as well for the MORBSVERSE?
Yeah, MORBSVERSE runs on an engine. I mean, it's like how Unity has a back engine. There's a back engine, but then you have to put stuff on top of it to make it work the right way. I did all of that, all the 3D elements in there, everything that's built in there is all made by me pretty much. And so it was a process. It was a lot of learning because there's hardly any documentation on it. And so it was a little bit of a teeth pull. And this is phase one. This is phase one. I'm working on phase 2 now, which is far more game related, but it won't be on Wax, unfortunately. So I don't want to step on wax right now.
Okay. So yeah, you're branching out into other blockchains, which isn't a bad thing, especially if you're still on wax. I'm fully into only wax. I don't really deal. I have some coins from like more standard ones, but I don't do anything on the other blockchains. And I think most of the viewers here were all wax fam. But it's nice to hear though. Not only that you're branching into others to kind of broaden the base, but you can have some onboarding there from like people from ETH or other places can maybe come into wax. Or maybe vice versa. Some wax people might get into some other things, but I think it's not a bad idea if you're capable of, especially when it's like a metaverse and it's all about hanging out. It's meant to have people come in and hang out and congregate. It's not really a bad thing. You do some onboarding, different, bring some of these ETH and Polygon and Solana people that aren't into wax. They don't know much about it, but they might be into it if they look at it. They might be into those. This type of community and the gaming and everything Wax has. So it's really neat. We're going to dive right into that. We'll dive right into that. Go ahead and hit the join, ! Play in your wallet. And what we have next on the prizes is 1st and 15th. 1st and 15th. We'll get one of these Betsies. What is the Betsy? Can you tell us?
So NiftyBlocks had a contest for their Betsy character. There's a Betsy character that they have on NiftyBlocks Marketplace, and there was a contest, and 20 were chosen out of I don't know how many, a ton of people to enter their stuff, and that was one of them. And so this was my release of the Betsy, MORBS'd out with some mutant powers.
Powers, all right. So that's one of the characters. So you have, I guess, multiple. Yeah. You said you started with some characters. Do you have? Did you continue making more? So you have a set list of characters or something?
Well, there's the 6 main characters of the story. The main storyline. They're all like kind of these mutant organic robots buying shit. That's what the actual MORBS stands for. This is actually an acronym. Nice. And so they're all mutant robots, and they were created by Vampa, who's this old grandpa vampire guy who runs an evil corporation that created these little creatures to create and pump and dump the crypto markets. But then they escaped and they created their own rebellion. Okay. Then they're out on their own, and that's the MORBS. And so there's like little pieces I've been releasing through the thing. Some people have followed the storyline, but collectors here have like come and gone. So I don't know if the same people even know the old storylines yet. So I might have to reintroduce them. Which I'm thinking about doing them in like in a comic book style kind of thing.
Comic book style or something integrated with the MORBSVERSE somehow. Okay, cool. And then also, and here after the Grub we'll dive in, but I also kind of want you to explain at that point what augmented reality means in terms of your MORBS. Like, how does it actually translate to real life? Because augmented means a mix of both, right? Or what do you mean? It is.
So what you would do, so like, I don't know if that particular NFT has I don't think that one has a QR code. If you go to anywhere else on the, actually, let me see if I can find something. Anyway, if you go to any of our NFTs, just go and you'll see a QR code. If you scan that, you will be able to see the augmented reality right through your phone. So the phone will basically bring up a link. You don't have to download anything. It runs through a browser, and you click the link and it'll say show in AR. And then it'll scan the area you're on. It'll be right in front of you, and you can see a ton of different stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a Pokemon Go type of thing where you have your
totally
camera sees, 100%. And then your thing 100%. Goes on. Okay, we're gonna look at that. We're gonna look at that next because that's really cool. That's really interesting. I think for somebody that's looking for a little, it's still entertainment, right? It's still entertainment value, but it's definitely more. It's extra than just looking at the picture by itself. That's really cool. So 1st and 15th place, we'll get that Betsy. Last call. And after this Grubfish, we will have you screen share, and we'll be looking at exactly that. I want to see what those QR code thing looks like, and we'll look into the MORBSVERSE and all that good stuff. And then we'll do 15 minutes of that, and then after that, just a Q&A. Anything remaining? Any questions remaining? So if you have any questions, throw them into that form, or just if you don't make it into the form, if you just put them in chat, Puzzle will help me out, and we'll cover them. All right. I already have a question. Here, we'll hit it when the grub's running. All right? So here we go. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Good luck. Good luck on the Betsy. All right. Somebody said you're a music artist, so have you used the Rising Stars NFT game on Hive, BC?
I haven't yet. No, I have not done that yet. Yeah, my music stuff. I did some stuff with Yoshi Drops. I kind of did a project with them, and I haven't really done much other than that. I did 2 releases with the DeFis on M.O.R.B.S that came each with a song from my old band Million Kids, and then I did a song that Yoshi actually co-wrote with me. So I wrote the lyrics, he did the music. We released that. That was like one of his free daily drops. And, but I haven't done the Rising Star. I haven't checked that out. I have to check that out.
Ooh, big explosion! Big explosion! Okay, cool. So you're a musician and you're a graphic artist. You're a jack of all trades, huh?
I like it. I do it. I do all of it.
Cool. So have you had NFTs with music on them? Or is that's what you were just saying?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah,
okay.
I did a couple of them. Yeah, I was planning on doing more. I might do that in a bit. I just right now like market's kind of like a little weird right now, so I'm just waiting. You know, I'll probably do stuff more closer to the holidays.
Gotcha. And it's not always easy when you're soloing it up, especially when you're also doing interviews. So it really, because now you're running a project and got your token and your metaverse, and also interviews. That's a lot to do. That's a lot for one person.
It's a little bit. A little bit.
I assume you're also working somewhere, or you're able to do this full time.
Yeah, I do day stuff. I still do graphics. You know, for a lot of different clients. So,
okay, that's great.
I got all that going on.
Well, that shows how hardworking wax creators are. Crypto
right,
creators,
man.
NFT creators in general, hardworking.
Right.
All right, congratulations to Bog. What up, Bog? No, you got a Betsy, and so did Buzz King, who won something earlier. Congratulations on the luck there. Congrats on the luck on there. Buzz King and Bog, you both got the Betsy. And now we're gonna take another 15. We're gonna do a little bit of visuals, some visual work. If you want to get your screen ready there, BC, maybe just start off at your website. I think that'd be a good starting point.
Let me get back to you. Let me see what you're seeing.
Well, yeah.
All right. Yeah, I got. Can you see my screen? Oh.
Yeah, I need to put it in here still, but yeah.
So I'll show you like one of my old promos for a series called the Wax Gang, which I did. God, it's been a year now. So these were all the OGs, actually. These are all the guys that were kind of.
Could you please say that again?
All right, I said something that Siri thought I was talking to it. Anyway, so so this is called the Wax Gang, and I made 15 of these. All of the characters in the Wax Gang were actual NFT creators, basically. So this was Doge Kid and Dogecoin Kid, and then there's a bunch of other ones, Joyo and a bunch of. But you'll see some augmented reality in this promo, so you'll be able to see it. So.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Oh wow. So, all right. I'm looking at some interesting stuff here. So you're playing a video. Cool.
Yeah,
was
so
was that a visual of the augmented thing? I didn't.
Yeah. That's
okay.
actually how it looks. You can when you do the augmented reality, you can actually take pictures of it and video of it, and you can stand next to it. You can do everything you want, and you can enlarge it, make it small.
Go back to that spot, just and pause where it's showing the augmented. I kind of
Sure.
That was neat. So basically, yeah, just do that first.
Okay, so right here, can you see that?
Yeah. Okay, so
so
yeah.
So you can place this anywhere where there's a flat surface, and it'll just stay there. And then it's you can spin it around. You can
Okay, so the background there is your actual camera footage, right?
Yeah.
And then
yeah, that's right from my camera. That's exactly how it looks.
Oh, okay, yeah. Pause right there if you can. Just pause. Yeah. So what you see there, it looks so real. That is so cool. And you made this, huh? You coded that?
Yep.
That looks so.
I made it.
So what you see there is his actual camera footage. So you see that, like the desk and the computer and whatnot. That's the actual camera footage. Think Pokemon Go, right? And then what you see on top of there is the NFT, and it's on your phone. It looks like it's real. It looks like it's sitting right there on your desk.
But you can walk around it. You can see all around it. It's a 3D object that you're walking around.
A 3D object that gets linked and like stays put on the table or whatever the flat surface that you have
exactly.
on. So that's augmented reality. That's what that's called. It's a mix of both digital and the real world together. That's really neat.
Exactly.
Really neat. Awesome. Thanks for that demo.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And so, and then this is the main site. So if you go to MORBS.app, you can come over and check it out. I have a drop. I'm kind of figuring out what to drop tomorrow, but something will drop tomorrow around noon. This is DeFi, the main character DeFi. These are the main characters are kind of in this kind of spread. This is Satoshi. This was a PFP project that we just sold out a couple months back. That's my Soul Surfer. So I'm also on Solana. That's my Solana collection. They're the Soul Surfers. There's 60 of those so far. There's going to be 100 later on. That's Toby. He's the bass player, muscle guy of the Mutants, and he has the ability to grow big and small and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, we have augmented reality drops. We just put in our market. So if you go there and click Buy Morbs right here, it will take you to the secondary market of Wax. And this has all the collections. So I have two collections. There's an old OG NiftyBC collection, and there's also the newer MORBSVERSE collection. Those are all in here. And these are all the things that are on secondary right now. And you can go through there and see all the work that I've done for the past couple of years almost. Like right here, like the Satoshi, like you see that little QR code right here?
Yeah.
That's what you want to scan. So when you open this up, scan that with your phone, and you'll be able to see the augmented reality.
So the way to do that, the only real way to do that is to open it on a PC and just boop, scan your computer screen.
Scan it in. Yeah, I'm starting to put just links now in there because a lot of people were having a hard time getting the photo to read the QR code because they only had a phone. Because they were only having a phone. So
if you only have the phone, you can't scan your own phone. So that's why I asked that.
So, yeah, you know what? I'll do this. Let me, while we're talking.
Maybe
I'm going to put up a link so you can see one of them in action.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I have my phone here. Let's do that. Put it into somewhere.
Hold on 1 second. Let me just find one that's good.
So how do most
hundreds,
huh? Do most of them have that going on? The augmented
almost
thing?
all of them do. Almost all of them do.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's I really wanted to kind of give a utility right off the bat that gave people the ability to kind of show it off, because usually the problem is that you have an NFT and there's no way to really show it to somebody, and so I thought this was just an easier way to kind of get it out to people, and people could kind of share it, and people were sharing it.
It's more fun. It's more interesting and fun to look at it like that. Like it's just cool tech. I haven't actually seen that really. There might be other projects doing something similar, but I haven't seen it in action the way I just did. So that's really cool.
Yeah, here, let me. Where am I going to put the?
Either Twitch chat or.
I'll put it. Discord. I'm going to put it in Discord. Yeah, you can pop it in on your end. I'm not sure how to get it into Twitch.
Oh yeah, no problem.
And if you click that link on a phone, you have to be on a phone, Android or iOS, and it should load right up. Chrome works the best usually for it.
Okay, I'm an iPhone user, so I got my.
It works in Safari.
Safari, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That works.
All right, let's see what we got. Here. And I'll post it into the chat as well. It's still loading.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, we have. Oh, let's turn. So I have my.
Okay, so you have to find some kind of flat surface for it to read on to. It has to be flat, something, like that, You're right there. And there you go. Now back up. It's big, so you're going to have to shrink it with your finger. Like pinch it.
Oh, pinch it. Yeah.
Pinch it. Yeah, keep pinching. There it is. And there's a little Morbs 3D shirt that spins around. And I walk around it and I move the phone around it. You can look around the whole thing.
Oh, look at that. So I'm gonna post this into the chat right as soon as I'm done. But look at that. So I'm sitting on my computer. Look at this. Look at this. And this thing is sitting right in front of me. This is so cool.
Oh.
That's so cool. So you can literally see it right there. It's spinning around. It's like it's actually
that particular NFT was one of the first virtual in real life ones. I did it a year ago. So you got a shirt. So you bought this and you had the NFT like this that you can show off on your desktop. But you also got a shirt that came in the mail so that you could actually wear it in real life.
There you go. What do you guys think of that? Isn't that cool? I'm gonna throw this. I'm gonna throw that into.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Anybody can go use it, guys. Just go click the link. And like I said, if you have a QR code reader, just use your phone. Google Photos, if you're on Android, works the best for scanning the QR codes. And if you're on iOS, it'll just do it automatically. So.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Boom, boom. So if anybody wants to try that same exact one, you can do it right there. You have to open up on mobile. Yep. Open up on mobile, and you can give it a shot. And like he just said, he can do that.
And you can take pictures. So also, when you bring it, if you had that back up, at the bottom, if you touch the screen of your phone, you'll be able to take pictures. And if you press and hold, you can take video. So it's pretty cool.
So you can take some pics and videos of your object in whatever background that you put it in. So you can actually do some photography with your NFT. That is really cool. You ever hold contests for that?
Yeah, we have. We've done a couple of them. M.O.R.B.S NFT won the last one, and it was really cool. It was cool to just see what people were doing.
Yeah.
I wish more people would get more into it. I really thought people would catch more onto the AR.
I didn't even know that was when I looked at. I took a quick glance yesterday. I didn't realize that's what was the augmented part was. So I think it's really neat. If anybody wants to check that out, and like you said, it's on most of your NFTs, almost all of them. So
almost all of them. You'll see, like usually, if it's not on the actual front picture, there's usually a second bonus side that has the QR code and maybe some other information on it.
Awesome. So when you get packs like this Jack Crackers and the other pack, what do those give you? Those give you like characters?
So you give me one. So these were a PFP project, and PFP projects on Wax are a little bit difficult as far as coding and how to get it to work. And so shout out to RAR, Jose from RAR. It's a project on Wax. He's also a really good coder and dev guy. And so he helped me build a PFP maker. So this was actually the second one that I made, the Satoshis, which were these ones. There's another Jack Crackers right there. Were the first ones, and the way that you got it is that you got a pack, and so you only get one card in the pack, but you don't know what it is. And there's 222, and so when you open them up, you get one unique out of the 222 that were there. So and these are both stakeable, as I was talking before. So if you do get these, go to waxdao.io, and there's a farm for each one of these. There's a farm for the Satoshis and a farm for the Jack Crackers.
And then I assume that's for M.O.R.B.S token in the farm?
For M.O.R.B.S token, yeah, exactly.
So
M.O.R.B.S token.
Yeah, talk about that. Yeah, whatever you want there. Before we get hit into the MORBSVERSE, you got a token there, and
so M.O.R.B.S token I created last year.
And what's some use cases for the token as well, if you have any?
So first use case more than anything, you can use it to buy and sell on Nifty blocks. You can buy and sell on NFT Hive. And you could create your own drops with that as well. That was the first case because it's more of an art coin. It wasn't built for a game. I think maybe originally I was like, oh, maybe I'll get into games so I should get a token going. But then I was like, what doesn't exist is just a token that we can use for art things. So the money that I'm getting from those drops is usually going back into pools for collectors, and also going to pay for server fees for the MORBSVERSE, which you'll see here in a second. Just trying to build more of a larger Web3 kind of approach to things a little bit. It's still so small, though. Everything's so, AR and VR it's a hard one to sell to the mainstream still. I don't know why.
Well, just NFTs are in general, but then you have because really
I'm just saying VR
isn't the tech really isn't quite there. A lot of people still get sick from it, for one. A lot of people just straight up get too dizzy and sick. Yeah. But then it's like, and then the people that do have, you got to have the goggles to do it, and then a lot of people, and that's great. I saw that you could. I didn't try. I actually have an Oculus Go, which was the very first one, and I don't know how compatible it is with different things.
It works. It works. That's why I used the engine, because it worked with everything. So
nice.
It was,
so I didn't actually try that. I will though. I will later on, because I thought it was neat. But what's cool about this metaverse is also, like on Digicon, is you don't need to have those things. You can do it right on your computer. You still hook up your earphones and your mic, and you can still just a 2D screen to walk around.
And you can do it on your phone. Even actually, the phone experience is quite smooth.
I didn't try that either.
Phone. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you want to go? Well, keep going. Yeah. You can dive into the MORBSVERSE whenever you want.
We'll start off here. So this is our portal room. So when you first come in to the MORBSVERSE, you'll end up here. This is our main portal room. So if you go to the website right here and click MORBSVERSE, it'll take you to this room right here. And these each lead to another room. So you're kind of like in a portal area. Okay. Mm-hmm. So let's see. Let's go into this one. This was kind of a cool one. So we were just talking about RAR. RAR is making a game, and so I built him a room that I thought would be kind of cool for a game, which is, how about if you were in the game? Like, the people could actually be inside the game that you built. And so that's what we did. So the game that he has built, called GiftBots, he got me some of the assets, and we worked on it, and I was able to build the space. I'm just waiting for the stream to kind of catch up. I think the streaming's taking a second. Hold on a second.
Everything lags.
It'll take a second to load.
Whatever we're live streaming, everything lags more.
Yeah,
it's all good.
I haven't done it with Discord before. It usually doesn't stream like this that bad. Let's see. Okay, well, that's going. Let's see if I can get this page going.
Okay. So the metaverse is essentially, it's like a 3D land, like you just saw. It's a 3D land. You can go in there and walk around. It's almost like a 3D game, like an RPG first-person game. But it's basically a room, and anybody else can also join at the same time, and then you can talk to each other in real time using your mics. So it's like it's like a virtual place to hang out, like Digicon. That's what Digicon is as well. Similar type of thing.
Stream. There we go. Okay. So this is our last Wax attack. So we do metaverse gallery showings. And so we had 10 artists right here, and each of these go directly to their drop page, so you can buy these NFTs. We got JRG, Abstract Dragon, Doge Fellows, who I think is coming on your show.
Yeah, next week. That's right.
Giant Graft.
So creators can just go in here and I assume they put these things here, right?
Or no. I do this. This is they give us the content, we load it in, and anything in here was only 2 wax. Some of them already have sold out. But it was made so that people would engage into wax NFTs. So you only need 20 wax, and you can get one of each of these all the way around. And over here, if you need wax and you need to start a wax wallet, you can actually go to these ATMs, create a wax wallet, buy M.O.R.B.S token. Let me get into the fly mode here. You can fly around as well. There's a text chat as well as a voice chat. If you were in here, you'll be able to around, and if you go in that chat and type in fly, you're able to now fly around this big island. So, and then back here you can share screen, so you can put your screen back here just by clicking this little purple button. And now we're going to
wow, look at that. You can broadcast your screen like a projector in there.
And so I put that there, and now I can let me get around here. Wait a second, my controller got all weird. Let me get over here. There we go.
Oh, look at that thing! Wow.
Yeah. So, now I went past the screen. So there's us on the screen inside the MORBSVERSE.
We're in the metaverse.
I'll send you the link on that one too. So if anybody is watching and you want to go in there, this is open 24/7. You can just come in here and hang out. You can chat with people.
There's a number of rooms. How often are people hanging out in there? I was there last night and nobody was in there, but it was also middle of the night.
The thing about the metaverse, if you want my honest opinion, it's just like VR. People just aren't ready for it. See, there's a secret room in here, and you can do secret presentations in the clubhouse. Ooh. You have to be in fly mode to get in here.
Look at those secrets.
And see, and there you can sign up for a free POAP, but that's over now because the event's over. But you can get your Wax wallet and M.O.R.B.S token right here. You can fly around, do a bunch of stuff. So there's music in here as well. I don't have the sound on because we're talking, but there maybe you can hear it. Can you hear it? Anyway, that's the Abstract Dragon.
It goes through, no.
Yeah, maybe it might not go through. But you can take walk around this. This is just one of the rooms. There's a ton. If you go through that portal room, each has a special theme. All the links work. They hot link to some place, whether it's a drop page or a website.
It's just like an ad, but it's all about art, though. Really cool art looking.
Yeah, it's, like to me, what I was saying about the metaverse is that people aren't ready for it yet, to be quite honest. It's like I think people want Ready Player One metaverse already, like,
yeah,
like
right.
completely thought out, and it's like exactly like this perfect situation.
Yeah, it's like seamless. Yeah, we
are
so not at Ready Player One level.
Yeah.
But this is really neat. Close. This is kind of where we're at. It's awesome you did this by yourself too, so you're able to just kind of create it. I think it's really cool. People that are focusing, I think as years pass, the tech will get better, and because some of these big like Facebook already done rebranded because of it. So so mainstream I think is definitely going towards metaverse and also NFTs as well. It's just currently it's still the sentiment is really bad because of all the ETH garbage out there, but I think when things get better, you're going to see a lot more of this. So whenever you see creators and projects already experimenting with it, I think we're ahead of the game. So this is really neat. You got some secret things going on. You can go and hang out in there. And actually, in real time, hang out with the people that are there, like we said, just like a Digicon. If you have more than one person in the same room, all you gotta do is go to the link. It's right on your browser, and if you're both in there, you can chat to each other and whatever. You can hang out together. Do you have avatars and things like that?
Yeah, you can choose. You can change your avatar. So there's custom ones in here. So you can also take selfies. So if you go in here and click this green button, and you click camera. A little camera's going to pop up here. There it is right there. And you can take a photo or a video. And let me scooch up here. So you can see there I am right there. That's my avatar. Oh. So if I take a picture, it'll take a picture of me. And there I am. And there's my avatar right there. And that's me in the universe. So when you're in here, when we're doing our events, you usually get about like 20, 25 people in here. And people are taking selfies and sharing them on Twitter.
Yeah, that's a good way to go about it, is to create events to where like meetups instead of just. Well,
yeah, that was a problem that I had. I mean, no offense to anybody else out there doing metaverses, with the idea of selling land and all that stuff. The problem that I saw with that was just the popular games that were doing it just didn't have enough interaction 24/7. There just wasn't enough content to keep people interested. And it turns off other people because they go in there and they see an empty space. They don't want to be part of it, And so I already knew this before I got into NFTs. I was just like, people just aren't ready for this yet. So it's like you have to make it like a thing, like an event. So usually I just try to approach it more in an event style where it's like, we're going to be here for 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
Everyone meet up at one time.
That's cool, especially if you have something to do other than just chat. Like if you had a contest or something going on, or get your best selfie or whatever. Yep. Maybe if you hide something in there, first person to find something. And
we did that. We've done that. We did that in the Halloween one and the Christmas ones where the Halloween one, I rebuilt the Shining Maze. And so you had to complete the Shining Maze, and at the end you got an NFT. And then we did some scavenger hunts in some of the rooms, and we'll probably start doing those actually soon again, because I've been wanting to do the scavenger hunts now that we have so many rooms, where the scavenger hunts over all 14 rooms that we'll have available. So we'll come with some ideas.
Awesome, that's great. So anybody interested in this, you do have the Discord and whatever, your Twitter and whatever. I assume whenever you have events and things like that, you'd be posting them. So. So that, and we also have a collab channel now in M.O.R.B.S. So anything you put into the announcements will get pushed into your channel in our server, and look out for that. Join that Discord. I'm not sure where the link is right at the moment, but it's easy to find. Join into that, and then the link's right on the website as well. So morbs.app. You can join that Discord, keep up with things, and whenever they have events and meetups, if I see it, and I'm available, I'll definitely go in there and hang out.
Yeah,
I think it's really cool.
come. We're gonna do one in Halloween. That's gonna be our next big
Halloween,
one.
okay.
So Halloween, do something for us, man. Send over a couple pieces, maybe some puzzles, and people can solve the puzzles inside.
Oh,
there.
yeah, some exclusive puzzle. I love it. Yeah, we'll do that. We can do that.
Yeah.
A little password. Go into the MORBSVERSE to get the password, and then it's just during that event, just like this stream. So that's cool.
And also, there's another thing that's really cool about the MORBSVERSE is that we are bots can't get in. So we've done the hidden drops inside the MORBSVERSE, so that really actually works great. Where people want to really hide their drop, they can do it in the MORBSVERSE.
Oh, like even other collections. That's interesting. Yeah, like if I wanted to do a super secret drop and not like do a keyed link or whatever, because bots do still find their way to those things with sharing of links. I can be like, go into the MORBSVERSE. And that's where it is. That's where you'll find the old drop link, and you got to get it from the big screen. That's cool. All right, all right. And I saw on your website, we're gonna do the next grub here in just a minute. I saw on your website you have a drop coming like really soon, today or tomorrow. What's involved with that?
Yeah.
What's in that?
I have no idea yet. Okay. Originally, I was going to do. We're going to be renting spaces in the MORBSVERSE. So we're not going to be selling land. We're going to be renting the space for events. So based kind of like how a rehearsal studio would give you a rehearsal studio filled with everything ready to go, and you just come in and you can play with your band and leave. Kind of the same idea. So you get it for 4 hours, and we just do all the setup for you. You don't have to worry about any of the setup. You just show up and have your event and host it. And you can have 14 different pictures or videos, links on all of them. You can, do all the selfies, all the stuff I was showing you. There's a bunch of other stuff that I can kind of list that's on the NFT, but that's going to hopefully be coming out. If not tomorrow, early next week. I might just drop just a regular illustrated MORBS thing tomorrow, but I'll figure it out. I like to drop surprises. I don't like to do
surprises, no problem. So look out for a little surprise tomorrow. And we dived into this a little bit. If you have questions, I don't have too many, but if you have questions about any of this, the podcast or the MORBSVERSE, the token, the augmented reality, this is all really neat. I haven't had somebody on stream that's shown something like this before, so this is like really, really interesting, especially if you're just you're not out for ROI and you're in there and you're looking for some new experiences, some new entertainment experiences. This is really cool, really cool. Yeah. And look out for the events, and then you can maybe have hangouts. Heck, maybe we'll plan some hangouts as well. Like, why not? Yeah. It's there. It's there. So maybe at some point before long, maybe next week even, while the puzzle game's up or something. We'll see. Man, we'll see. Sure. We'll choose a little time to go hang out in the MORBSVERSE and see what it's like, and just take selfies and whatever. Do some giveaways there. Okay, we'll see. That's really cool. And we're gonna do the next grub. Here's a question: is it safe to watch the NFT circus for someone who's afraid of clowns?
Well, I'm afraid of clowns, so it's okay. But we have different kinds of clowns at our NFT circus.
Yeah. So you're looking at a couple clowns right now, but they're not the scary.
I'm the head clown right here.
They're not the scary version. All right.
Exactly.
All right. Cool. And when we get back after this grubfish, we're just gonna hang out, do any random Q&As, anything extra you want to show. We'll do that for our final section before we sign you up. All righty. So let's throw this off. Join the grub, estimation I play in your wallet. And let's see what we have for you this time. Once again, 1st and 15th. I got 2 more NFTs from M.O.R.B.S. First, we'll get this. Which one was this one? Which was ultra rare. An ultra rare M.O.R.B.S. Hive Stinger. Can you tell us about that a little?
So NFT Hive, which has been a secondary marketplace ever since I've known about them, started creating drops, and so this was to help with the launch of that thing. I released it to do a tutorial on how to make drops on NFT Hive, and this was the NFT that I actually make in the video. So that's what it is. So I only made a couple of them, put them out there, ultra rare. And,
only a couple. Yeah, there you go. Max of 50. So this is number 7 of 50. Bada boom, bada bam. And then 15th place, we'll get this Satoshi 420. airdrop
that was a
special.
celebration.
And,
Yeah,
and that's
was,
a rare as well. Max of 250 with 77 are minted.
Yep. Those were an airdrop for the Satoshi holders. That was one of the first ones, and it was on 420 to celebrate 420, and it has our little stoner Stan coming out of her head. So
Stoner Stan, huh? That's the name, huh?
Yeah.
Look at that guy.
Yep.
All right, cool. Some nice little stoner artwork with some kind of. It made me think almost video gamey, but it's kind of comic booky even, which makes sense. I mean, you started with characters for comic or animated series. Adult Swim, you mentioned. Yeah, it's very Adult Swimmy like artwork. It's interesting, really interesting. Yes, and the fact that you can see these things in 3D using that augmented thing, that's just so really. It was really good graphics too. Like it really kind of looks real almost on your augmented thing. Like it looked like an actual physical thing. It wasn't just like some slap artwork. Like you saw how it went. You went all the way around it. Yeah, that's really awesome. All right, so but these ones, do these ones do that or no? Probably not.
Not those ones. No, those ones don't have a QR.
Or the Betsy. No. Okay. So, but if you get the packs on the puzzle game, you can maybe unpack something that does, right?
No, but you can just go to the market,
or go to the market
to the secondary market on M.O.R.B.S to go to buy M.O.R.B.S and just go to any of them and click into them and you can scan.
I guess if you wanted to just look at them,
you don't have to actually own it
without owning them. That's true. That's true because I just did it on that link. So exactly. If you wanted to check them all out, just to check them out, it maybe that's kind of interesting because you're almost shopping. You're like, hey, I want to buy something, but I'm gonna check out more of 100%. It. I'm gonna look all around it. Hey, I really like this one. It's kind of like you're holding it in the store. Like, hey, this is what. Yeah. So there you go. And then if you decide, hey, this is the one I want. This is the one I really like. Then you can go ahead and buy it, and then it'd be yours. Really cool. All right, so we're gonna head start the grub. This is the last call. First place gets the that stinger, the Hive 1 stinger. 15th place gets this Satoshi airdrop special. All right. And then after that, we will do a final Q&A section. Now, I typically around this time, I got to take me a bathroom break because I got all these monsters I'm drinking. So I'm going to do that while the grub's happening. BC, you're welcome to take a break as well. Or if you want to talk to the crew about anything, you're welcome to do that too. Completely up to you. And I will be right back. So good luck. Good luck on the grub. Here we go. All right. We are back in the game. Congratulations. Congratulations to Bleezer Vision. Bleezer Vision, you get the Stinger, the Hive Stinger version one, and then Silent One, you got the Satoshi. All right, congratulations. You can go ahead and join again. All right, and bring my musics back. All right, so you can go ahead and join again, and if you got any questions about what we just talked about, I really don't have that many here, so if you have anything, go ahead and shout it out. We were looking at the MORBSVERSE. We were looking at those augmented reality things. Is there other things you want to show? Maybe look at some of the characters, some of the artworks.
I sent you over another link for another cool augmented one that I just popped up on the screen.
Let's do that. That's going to be cool.
So this one right here. Yeah, probably do it on your phone. It's probably easier to show on your phone.
True that.
This one's kind of cool. It's an actual little spaceship.
Oh.
That flips around and stuff.
Oh, and here's the link.
I'm sharing it on my screen. I don't know if you can bring up my screen so they can see what it is.
I can. Oh, there's your video. Oh.
So it's going to do that in front of you.
Yeah.
So it's,
all right, let's go ahead and pull that. So here's the link for it. Anybody wants to give it a shot yourself, you totally can.
Have to do it on mobile.
You got to do it. You got to click the link on mobile. So that's what I'm going to do right now.
Meow.
Right, meow. Done. That's cool. That's because I'm not a coder. I'm a designer. So everything, all the app development is outsourced. It's really cool to see a creator that's just really it's a musician too. You're a designer, a creator, and a coder too. You actually create the. Well, you mentioned it's an engine or whatever, so there's help involved. You're not coding from scratch, but still, this is stuff.
Not coding from scratch.
This is stuff that I like. Somebody like me, I have no clue about any code at all. I have no knowledge of it. I wish I kind of did. I'm a designer and engineer, so this is really neat. You were able to create this AR and then also the MORBSVERSE. I'm gonna bring my phone up here. Let's see what we got.
You got it. There we go.
Right.
We got to show it on a flat surface.
So you want to show that?
You probably will have to shrink it down because you're so close. But there you go. It's coming. Almost. Move the phone around a little bit.
Oh, I see. It scans. I see.
Yeah,
so
there it goes.
It's telling you. It tells you to move it around, and then it's like gives me a little loading bar.
Pinch it to shrink it.
So now we see this big thing. Look at that thing. And then if it's too big, then I just use the pinch pinch to move it out. See that? That's what I'm doing. I'm pinching right there.
And you can move around the thing just like you did with the other one. You can see around at 360 and the whole thing. A
360 movement. Look at this thing. It's just chilling right on my mouse. Look at that. Whoa. Isn't that cool? That's better than Pokemon Go. It's way better. Because it's like it looks more 3D and rotating around. Pokemon Go, you just see your little character chilling there. Sure. That's all it is. So that's
I said,
cool.
You can move it around, shrink it. You can actually, if you grab it like you're pinching it and twist your finger, do a twist. You can twist it around. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, look at that. So you're using your pincher fingers to move this around. You either pinch to zoom. You know how to do that on phones, right, guys? You pinch to zoom, or if you're doing the twist, you can actually orbit it around 3D. See that? Fly this thing around. Look at this. I'm flying this thing on my desk.
And now watch. Now we did do this last time. So now tap the bottom of your phone. Just tap it.
Okay.
If you tap the bottom, you'll see a button come up, right?
Oh, yeah. And then
there it is. So now you can take a picture. If you click it, you can take a picture. And it just took a picture and that sent it to your photos. And now if you click and hold.
Oh, and it saves it right to your camera roll.
Yep. And then if you click and hold, it'll take video. Now you're taking video of it. As long as you hold it down, it'll record.
Hold it down, and we can still do the whole twisty-turvy thing, too.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So
And when you let it go, it'll record to your library. And then you can share it on TikTok or whatever else you want to do. And like, ready to go.
yeah, and then so I have this video now. So ignore all those notifications. There it is. There's my video. That's so cool. There's my video. So you can create with the NFTs that you have, and you don't even have to own them. You can just look at the market and pull them up, and then but it's a lot cooler if you own them, and then you can create any picture or video based on that. You can even control the 3D model with your fingers like that, and then put it in whatever environment you want. Right now I'm just at my desk, the old battle station, but go outside, play around with like on the grass and stuff.
You can make it really big, which is really cool.
Oh, make it real big. You can actually create a real scene, like a movie scene, like something like this. When you have not a literal movie scene, but like an actual scene that looks like a 3D scene, augmented because we have this 3D ship or whatever it may be, and then you can just make it do things in real life, and it's actually intuitive, and
I have
it looks
a
easy.
skateboard one you guys can check out too. I had here, there it is. Here's a good one. So if you guys are big into wax and you guys are the wax heads here, here's a good one, which is the wax logo I made for wax. I was highlighted as one of the artists for the Artist of the Week when Wax first did it this last year, and this is what I made for it, as well as this the spaceship that you just saw. So check out that link that I just sent you.
All right, will do. And
that one is the actual Wax logo, and that one looks pretty cool. It just spins around. It's kind of cool to put on your desk.
Oh, I'll put it on your desk. Yeah,
it's also a good way to get in with Wax. Hint, hint. You can put a picture of it and then tag Wax, and they always probably like seeing their logos. So.
Oh. Yeah, I'm going to do that now. Boom. So the link is there in chat. You do have to do it on mobile if you want to try it yourself.
Yep.
And you got to hit allow, CNAR. Here we are. Back to my old battle station. And then it says move around. There it is.
There it is.
And now I want to
shrink it now because you're a little bit too close.
To zoom. Yep, because I'm super close to my surface here. Look at that. It's just chilling there. It's just chilling.
Yep. Wax, king of NFTs. There you go.
And I can move that thing around like that. Do some spinaroos. Put it on my desk. That's so cool. That's really cool. I think it is. For like just an extra entertainment utility. Now that it's there, I guess everything's in place. So when you create new ones, you can just kind of flop it into just do it, right? You just AR is like kind of like everything else. It's like it's still baby phases, So there's it took some teeth pulling, but I got it to work the way I want it to now. Nowadays, it's fun. Nice. Yeah, I like it. Nice. It's chilling.
That looks cool. Check it out.
Chilling on my keyboard. Yeah, it looks so real. It looks like I'm actually and the fact that you can photograph and video it too, doing it. This is really neat. There you go. So anybody that wants to play around with those things, check out the market. And just start playing around if you want. You can actually already, if you wanted, you don't, like we said, you don't have to own them. So you can just check them out. You can already take some pictures and videos and just mess around if you're bored around with it. Maybe post some of your...
And tag M.O.R.B.S. Tag at M.O.R.B.S15 on Twitter because I love seeing that stuff.
There you go. I was just going to
I'll always retweet those.
I was just going to suggest that you can throw them into the Discord, the M.O.R.B.S Discord. But yeah, make it public too. Go ahead and tweet it and tag NiftyBC and Crackers, and they'll retweet it. And you don't actually have to own them. It's a lot cooler if you do. Like, this is mine. This is literally mine. It's in my hand. Look at it. It's right here. It's mine. Yeah. That's awesome. All right. What's your favorite M.O.R.B.S character? Are any based on people you know?
I think my favorite one is probably Vampa.
Let's look at some.
Vampa.
Let's look at. I'm bringing your screen back up. Yeah, let's look at some.
Yeah, let me
characters.
bring up my website here. It's coming up.
Look at some characters. We're gonna be here and we're just hanging out now until we're done hanging out, and then we'll do a numerous other grubfish. I want to say 3 more, and they will include prizes from White Dragon, and a Funko pack, and the online end, and some hybrid creatures. So stick around because we got more prizes coming. All right, carry on.
Nice. Can you hear this?
No, I don't think Discord brings the desktop audio in.
Okay, no worries. So
Yeah.
so anyway, this is Vampire. So the story is that Bob the Vampire grandpa was just a regular grandpa named Bob. He was walking back home from the bar, got bit by a vampire, became a vampire, and then became an evil business genius that runs a thing called Quantum that makes mutant robots that buy shit, and those are the M.O.R.B.S. So this is the head guy behind all of it.
That's the head guy, huh?
Yep. Gets bit by a vampire. Then give him vampire blood and a coffin. And so you had to blend this all together to get the end piece. Turn into a vampire. So
Neat.
and right here it goes vampire. So this was a pack that you would get, and you basically would get the pieces. So you get him as a normal guy, a blood pack, coffin, a vampire, and you blended them all together using Nifty blocks, and you would end up with a vampire. You would be able to get a vampire at the end. So basically, you blend up to a vampire. And then there was a Vampire Council pack, which are these guys. And there's 13 of these guys, and these were just kind of, I think these were all through a pack as well. I can't remember how I did these. Pack, and that was the AR form. You got all 13 in a big, like, portrait thing. You also have Vampire shirts, and then you could blend all of them. So the whole thing was a big blending project so that you could blend from the very bottom Vampire all the way up to the King Vampire, which are these Supreme blends, Legendary blends, and these were all the Vampires in there. And then this also has a ETH sister project, which is the 88, the Crazy 88 Vampire ETH clan, and so they're over there. But we're not going to talk about the ETH side. So, but they're over there, and then this is the guy that basically started the M.O.R.B.S. He created all the other ones, and then the second one would be Cryptos. These were almost one of the early PFP projects on Wax. So before me, there was Imposter Punks that did the first one, and then I think I was around the second one. Us and Crypto Pups, I think we're around the same. And then Senior Lupe came out with Chummies, and then a couple other PFPs. The Dutchies came out, and a couple other things came out. But this was my first PFP that I had fun with. And this is the main character, Crypto. So he is the one that invented Bitcoin in my storyline, my lore.
Okay.
And he's kind of like, he was like a roughneck guy that was kind of a vampire disciple that rebelled. And then we have the Satoshis, which is the one that I just released. These guys right here pop up, and this is like the, I don't know, like the special child that oh no, those are the Soul Surfboards. Sorry about that. Where is it? Now see Satoshis. Should go there, right? Maybe I got the wrong link. I don't know. Oh, there they are, right there. So the Satoshis, I just released these a couple months back, and this was a 222 of them, and like I said, these are stakeable over on WaxDAO now. And then there was an alpha Satoshis, which are part of the miners, so that you can mine for M.O.R.B.S token here, these M.O.R.B.S tokens, by using the Satoshis and the other miners that we have. We have a couple miners, so that you make M.O.R.B.S token every month.
So you got some mining utility there, staking utility. Do they stake anywhere else, or is it only your own WaxDAO?
Just the WaxDAO right now, because there was our planet for a while. You know, when we started, you had to there was a lot of gates. You know, I really like what WaxDAO's doing, to be quite honest, because I didn't like the gatekeeping that was going on Wax for a little while. Like there was a little bit of like, if you weren't in with the right crowd, you're not going to get your stuff stakeable. You know, and that made things really hard for a lot of projects. And it was nice to see Mike come up with this and just be like, hey, this is just out there. You know,
it's great. I've learned more about it in the past week. We're holding off on a token for ConsumerBreak. I would like one in the future, but WaxDAO really provides the tools for creators to do it if they want. They fully set what parameters they want for their token and their farms. You can even list drops using whatever token you want. So those are really awesome tools, and it's cool that you're using a WaxDAO for your token. That you should be. If you have token, And you don't
I don't use it
already...
for my token. I'm not using it for my token. I'm
right.
using
Okay.
it for
The farm.
staking.
Yeah. But you're creating the farm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But if you got the token and you don't have nowhere to stake, then that's a really easy tool just to create a farm and it gives out token. Like, it just gives you the tools to create what you want, and then you have to supply the reward pool. That's all it is. So he's supplying the pool with the M.O.R.B.S token, and there you go. It's all in WAX DAO.
And
awesome.
of course, and also, WAX. I mean, the M.O.R.B.S token is also on Alcor, so it's an actual tradable token.
Tradable token.
It's been doing okay. It's been doing pretty good. So, we've been going pretty strong since we launched it. We're kind of building more liquidity than anything. I mean, the thing about tokens is like there's a creation side of it, but then there's the liquidity, and you have to kind of build that liquidity up for it to get on the Alcor.
Yeah, that's the part where I think we need to grow a little bit more. Really, I need a partner that's more knowledgeable and involved with that side of things, because I'm so swamped as it is. But it really opens the door if you do it right, if you do it correctly. It brings a lot of utility and extra good stuff to your project if you do it right. So it looks like you definitely are thinking about all that and putting the best interests of holders in mind. That's all it is to be involved in the community and make sure you're listening, and you're definitely doing that. Also, as a streamer and interviewer, like, your face is there, you're fully doxed. That's really good signs from a project, especially when the project is looking good and looks like it's doing good stuff. It's also nice to see the creator being the face of it and being there and answering and in the community, and there's nothing to worry about as far as shadiness. So it's really cool to see.
I mean, I've always been about doxing. I never really got that about the NFT space. That was the side of it that I didn't like in the beginning, was that so many people were not doxed, and I was like, you're asking a lot of cash for people, and you're promising a lot of stuff.
Yeah, nobody knows who you are. Yeah.
And I don't know who you are, man. I know nothing about you at all, so it's I tend to go more towards projects that are just, I'm just who I am, dude. I'm just putting out some NFTs. Like, if you're that kind of project, I will most likely support you pretty heavily. I tend to be very wary of bigger projects that are not doxed or just hiding behind things. I get really wary about that stuff. I've always been that way. Mm-hmm. I just I think there's some good projects out there, but I will trust you way more. You tell me who you are.
Yeah, and it makes sense. And not only the face on camera, which is what we do, but you're in the Discord too. It's like, hey, because that's a big red flag. If they're not answering things, in chat, in comments, and it's understandable if the creator's busy. But if he is, he should have a mod, or somebody should address things. So when you see that in a project, at least hey, they're involved in their community, and they're trying to make sure everything's kosher in their mind, and it's not just for the creator's profit. Which you do have to look out for out in the crypto space. This is true. There's a lot of scammers out there. It's sad.
It's sad. I don't like it it's been more prominent lately in WAX, which has been kind of a bummer for me, because I was like, man, come on, guys, what are you doing?
Yeah, really.
Stop that shit. Like, seriously, stop it.
And that's why Atomic Hub does the whitelisting. That's their purpose, is to make sure that the ones that can't prove originality and whatever else that goes through the process, because sometimes, especially if it's a game, there's a big process of proof to prove that you're doing it right, and that's the purpose of it. So if you see a collection on Atomic Hub that's not whitelisted or not verified, just and they got their warnings there, so just be a little cautious. It can mean one of two things. It can mean it's a shady project and a scam, or it's a new project that doesn't have enough followers. You need 150 community members to get there, and that's fine. So Hexalican's in here with the Husky project. He's not whitelisted yet, but and that's the reason he doesn't have the whitelist. But he's still doing everything else right. He's still in the community, growing it and being involved in it, and that's just part of it. You just got to get to that point of being whitelisted. But at the same time, just be aware of those projects that don't show that kind of involvement in the community, because just scammers. I mean, it's very prevalent in ETH and other places, and Instagram. I mean, as a creator, if you're new and you're starting to create and you're starting to post drops and tags in Instagram that have to do with NFTs, you will absolutely start getting DMs from so-called promoters.
Be careful of those.
And just I mean, you just have to ignore them because for the most part they're all they're just scammers. They create Instagram accounts. Somehow they get those accounts to a whole bunch of followers, and then they promise you a whole bunch in return for a payment. And there's just red flags involved. But everything, a lot of things in Wax are really good. Every collab that we've had and talked to and interviewed and everything, or that you might see on other interviews, they're really good projects and they're doing great things. And you can always also look on their, just kind of on the Atomic Hub activity there, you know, if they have a bunch of sales and whatnot and holders, and that's good signs and all that good stuff. So it's been a great interview. I actually don't have too many questions, but we looked at the podcast. So everyone, make sure to subscribe to the podcast on YouTube if you want to learn about new projects with Crackers. Follow them on Twitter. We looked at their augmented reality, the drops, the NFTs. So if you wanted to check out the collection and maybe start looking, I mean, that's something cool. Maybe I'll do some of that too. Hey, I just want to see what some of these, just because it's different, it's new, it's different from other stuff. And look at some of these 3D objects on my table, maybe do a couple pictures and videos, and then if I'm really getting into it and I like it, then maybe buy something and then I own it. And then aside from that, you had your token too, which you can stake and get token on the Wax DAO. But aside from that, the MORBSVERSE is a really big deal for you, and it looks really cool, and you're building new things for that. I'm sure that's only going to evolve as we grow. And look out for events from you, special events and contests from you, and then also any other collection can do the same. And we may do that. Maybe we'll do a little event next week or something. We'll see. I'll announce it if so, where we can go and hang out and see how many people we can get into the same room and do like an exclusive puzzle or something like that. We'll all just kind of hang out for a little bit. That'll be fun.
For sure.
Yeah. I guess I don't have any other questions.
Right.
So we're gonna sign you off. We'll do 3 more grubfish with some more prizes. But
right.
if you have any last words to the fam, the crew, anything at all that you want to give out there?
Yeah, just check us out at morbs.app. You can get pretty much all the info from there and all the links to the Discords, Telegrams, Twitters, all that stuff. Halloween will be our next big MORBSVERSE event, and that'll be like a costume contest. And what we're going to do is let people have the template to make their own avatars.
Oh,
so
that's
like
cool. Okay, we'll definitely. So Halloween time there at the end of October, we'll definitely announce that because that's cool. We should a Halloween contest using avatars. That's neat. What else you got going on there?
Yeah, and then we're going to be doing a Christmas one probably towards the end of the year, and
Christmas, okay.
And then the rest of the stuff is just going to be me just releasing. I have a couple PFP projects I'll be releasing towards closer to September area. There's the O-Bots, which is like a little robot character that we've done before. We'll probably be releasing those, and something else probably closer to Halloween, maybe another vampire release. Mm-hmm. So that's it.
Just one question. There was a question that was what your favorite Morbs character was, but then it was like, are any based on people you know? I just want to tag on to that. How did you come up with your characters? Are they just inspired by, say, Adult Swim and your own head, or was there any kind of other inspiration?
Well, the first one was crypto, and I wanted him to be about the blockchain, so I wanted him to be a blockhead, and so I made this blockhead character, and then I made him like, he should be a little evil, kind of like a little like vampire evil guy, kind of. Originally I thought of him more of like a sinister kind of like leader guy, and then it moved into the other characters from there. But I think he's my favorite. I think Crypto's my favorite because in the storyline that I'm building, he plays a big part. So does Satoshi. Satoshi are kind of like my 2 favorite, and then DeFi is just the funny one. She's like super anti everything, very like decentralized. Like she wants to like be the girl with the dragon tattoo kind of character. You know, so. Okay,
cool. So they're for the most part they're just kind of out of your head. You're just creating characters.
Yeah, I'm just
and neat artwork, and you're making all of it. You're making the art.
Yep.
You're making the augmented NFTs. You made the token. You got your MORBSVERSE. So this is a hard-working guy here. While you're also doing your Friday interviews with new Wax creators. So this is a great guy in the Wax space. Everybody should be following him. And with that, I'm going to sign you off. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. and we'll talk to and yeah, we'll come up with something for next week before this puzzle game ends. We'll pick some time next week to just kind of hang out for an hour in the MORBSVERSE and see what it's like. Man. That'll be fun. That'll be cool.
Yeah, you got it, man. All right, man.
All right.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
See you later, guys. Have a good one.